is going on, guys? We're here, another episode.
Yep, welcome back. We got a new episode. As we promised, new guests, new content, new material, and who better enough to have than coming fresh off of a KO win past weekend. We got the newly ranked number 5, Alex Perez in the building.
Welcome to the show, Alex. Good to have you. We've actually known Alex for some time. My debut was on that poster. There's Alex's face right there. Yeah. We all fought on that card.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, we did. I fought on that card, too.
So it's kind of a full circle. It's pretty dope. But yeah, just as D-Rod mentioned, Alex is coming off a super sick second round KO over Matheus Nicolau, I believe.
Yes, sir.
So if not, you're knocking right back on that door and you're watching the title fight this weekend, right?
Yeah, man. Excited to be back in the division. You know, it's been a while since I got a win. It was like 3-4 years, you know what I mean? Just injuries and stuff like that. And fucking happy to be back in there. You know, it's been a minute.
Yeah, and a main event. Main event.
Yeah, and cool. You were telling us that you're already back in the.
Yeah, June 15th. I fight. Originally I was supposed to fight June 15th. This opponent, Tajir, and they called me. I think with like a month. They're like, "Hey, would you want to step in and fight Nicolau?" And I told my nutritionist actually that I weighed a lot lighter than I really did because like it's a good opportunity. I'm gonna bet on myself. You know what I mean? And I mean, thank God it worked out. You know what I mean? Like I was able to make the weight, have a good performance, and then no injuries. So I was like, man, screw it. Why not come back in another 6 weeks? The more active I am, the better I get. So for me, it was just like, fuck it, let's go.
Yeah, it's always good to come out of a fight with no injuries, feeling fresh. And I know that the few times that I was able to come out of a fight feeling healthy and good, I wanted to get right back in there. You know, and it's just like you said, just so you know, I don't pack on too much weight because you know how it is.
Man.
You know?
I fuck Korean barbecue changed my life. Moving out to Orange County, man, that shit changed my life. I was I used to walk around about like 140. You know, it wasn't too big and stuff like that. But then once I got all the food, geez, I would walk around probably 55, maybe a little bit higher than that. So it just all depends on, you know, if I stay active or not. If I have time off, I got those Mexican jeans, you know what I mean? The pounds stick on.
Yeah, I feel you. Mexican diet ain't the exactly the you know, low calorie, you know, but I feel you on that one, man. Going back to your fight, man, second round KO. That was a nice finish, man. We rewatched it, and man, you looked incredible in that fight.
Yeah, I felt good, man. You know what I mean? Short notice, short camp, but I stayed training after so I fought March 2nd, I believe, and then I stayed in shape just because I help out other people. I was helping out Cynthia and Cody Garbrandt, so I stayed in shape. And then when they called me, I was like, why not? Might as well do it, and just kind of going about fight to fight.
Yeah, so I see you all the time at the PI, staying busy, staying active.
For sure.
Always working, man. My man right here is a workhorse, and like he said, he's always helping out with other fighters. I saw you working with Cody, with fucking what's her girl? Cynthia, and but yeah, man, just I always see you just working, staying active. That's dope, bro.
For sure. Even after before my last fight, working with Billy, I would see you there almost every day at the man. PI. So you're definitely the blue collar worker, always grinding, putting in the shift, and it's good. It's awesome to see because there was a period of time where, you know, you had some fights where you had to fall out, like some stuff with health and weight, and people don't realize like what fighters go through to make weight, to go through camp, to go through all that thing. Some things are just you can't see happening. It just happens, you know. So it was awesome to see how much work you put in, and then to see you get the result on the weekend. It was like, yeah, fuck yeah, like it's awesome to see.
Dope. I noticed Tyler Womble's in your corner. Are you and I remember you saying before you have worked on. Are you based out of LA or where are you from originally?
So I grew up in Lemoore, close to Fresno. Grew up out there in the Central California, and then in 2013 I ended up moving out to Orange County to work with Colin Oyama and the guys at Team Oyama, and then through there I had a couple teammates, Christian Aguilera and those guys that worked with Tyler, and then I'm always trying to evolve and add to my game, so I just kind of end up hopping on with them. And Tyler's a good dude, man. Good skills. He actually, if you watch that fight, he actually called out the combination. He's like, hey, high-low. And I literally just pulled the trigger on it. He's seen it, and I pulled it, and that's the first time that rocked him. You know, so like I said, I've been working with him for the last couple of years, and happy he's been paying off.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, you know, it was funny because Tyler was supposed to come on the show, but it didn't work out with logistics. D-Rod was out of town, but he was like so. That's what I'm looking for. Kind of prude. He's like, oh, no one's gonna want to watch my episode. Like, no one's interested. I was like, dude, you're Tyler, bro. Like, you've worked with some of the best fighters on the planet. Like, especially on the West Coast. I fought against Raymond Daniels. You know, cornered against me. He was also in my corner. So like, me and Tyler are homies.
I've also worked with Tyler, and he's got a. I love his style.
Yeah.
His style is like super dope, and he's a great coach and just a great person in general. I was like,
for sure, he's one of the homies.
Yeah, I plan to work with him when I
go out.
When I move back to, I plan to move back to California. And when I do, Tyler's definitely be in my corner for sure.
Nice.
I had it, dude. Yeah, I hadn't made my way out to Oyama, but I hear a lot of good things about him.
Yeah, man, he's old school. He's an old school grinder. Like, I mean, some of the names these coaches off the top of my head: Rico Rodriguez, Rampage Jackson, Tito Ortiz, Carlos Barza, Ian McCall, Razor Rod McCall, Tiki. Like, all these guys from Orange County have pretty much gone through him, and he's still in the game, and he's just old school, man. Like, he don't give a fuck if, like, he don't care how you feeling. Like, you're going to practice coming to work, right? And he still has that old school mentality. That's kind of why I took the fight, because I'm like, I'm always in shape. I'm always at the gym. And that mentality comes from, like, for him, for sure. Like, he's always pushing us and always making sure we're ready for anything.
Nice.
No, that's dope. Yeah, I've seen even like when I made my debut and saw the like embedded with you going in, because obviously I'd never met you, but seeing like you guys, the training and you guys talking about it, it was always you guys were putting up, you know, high level guys, high level performers in the sport. So it was cool to see that, and then also have you out here in Vegas. And I've even been in some of your wrestling classes. You run in classes and showing classes too. So it's always cool to, especially for myself, just being all over, learning from people all over the place, and you know, constantly learning. So that's the best thing. But what was it in your life that got you into MMA?
Honestly, so I grew up in Lemoore, and that's, people don't know, that's where WC originated. Like, if you watch the old school, like WC, where like Nick and Nate were fighting in that triangle cage, that's from my hometown. So kind of got through that, and I wrestled in high school. I didn't get no scholarship offers, but my buddy was fighting at the time. He's like, hey, I'll help you get. He was a promoter at Tachi Palace. He was like, hey, I'll help you get fights, but you got to go to college. That was our bet, and I was like, all right, screw it. That was our deal. So I ended up going to school knowing I was gonna fight. So basically, I went to school to wrestle. Like, just I was like, school, get some wrestling in.
Yeah.
You know, just training basically. And I just didn't want to be like 35, 36 years old and be like, man, I could have done that. I could have done this. And I took a couple of amateur fights during my wrestling, like during the season. So I'd wrestle on a Saturday and I'd fight on a Sunday. And then go back to school and wrestle all week and do all that. I did that a couple of times during the school year. And 12 years later, I'm still doing it, man. Thank God it's worked out.
That's awesome.
Yeah, hell yeah, dope. I think that's as long as I've been doing this, 12 years since the moment I started like deciding to actually train, take it serious. Yeah. Until now, it's like.
That's awesome, yeah. And because you guys are both from California, different areas, but like you guys came up in the, you know, in the beginning and made it to the big show. You know?
I mean, the California regional circuit is no joke.
Yeah.
There's a ton of fighters.
It's the best, I think.
Yeah. Hey, for a while, when I first started in 2010, there's just so many shows. You had West Coast, you had Tachi Palace, you had little shows here and there, up and comers. This show called Syndicate, like all these shows. Now is like so many good fighters in California, but like now you only got A1, you got you know what I mean, a couple of shows here and there. The A1 goes all up and down California. You got a couple of little shows that come here and there, but back in the day, man, like there's fights every week, and now it's a little bit, shows are a little bit less, but the talent's getting better, and it's like, screw it.
More and more fighters.
Yeah, some of these guys are fighting each other, and the regional scene should be fighting in the UFC against each other.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah, that's how it was for one of my fights in the UFC. It was actually a title fight on the regional circuit, and we ended up fighting in the UFC. Well, I was training to fight him. And then I got the call for the UFC, and then a fight later, I ended up fighting him. So it was pretty much like the title fight that was gonna happen in LA.
In the UFC.
Yeah, and
that's awesome.
Yeah, and the talent just is dope. Even in the amateurs, and like the
especially now.
Yeah,
how big it is.
If I tell people all the time, if I was to compete to start MMA and the skills I had back then to now, like I would get killed now. Like back then I was just a wrestler, right? Like I obviously have punch and stuff, but I punch you, take you down. Like back then, 2010, you were still able to. It's like that Matt Hughes era.
More one-dimensional.
Yeah, he was still, Matt Hughes was still reigning as champ. Anderson Silva, right? Kind of these one-dimensional guys. They were good everywhere, but they were dominant in that one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And if I was to compete now with the skills I had back then, I would get killed. I would probably definitely be a different story where I'm at today.
I mean, yeah, you see some of the kids that are coming up that are super young, and their foundation is literally MMA.
Yeah.
You know, so it's just like a whole completely different spectrum. And
now they're learning everything.
Exactly. Yeah, that's mandatory if you want to get an MMA, right? You know, you can't have any holes. But yeah, that's the thing of the game, the evolution of the sport. You know, like it's always just gonna grow and change, and it's gonna be the modern day gladiator. You know, that we always would see in the movies.
Yeah,
but
the
now
game is only gonna evolve. You know.
But now it's just like you got to have the most clout and have the most following and attention. You know, and that's the world we live in. But it's fortunate that we've all been able to do what we love to do. You know, and were you going to the bathroom?
No, I'm gonna grab it.
Oh, you're gonna grab the joints. Yeah, of course. Can't have an episode without the joints. So the fight with Tagir, is that also gonna be in Vegas?
Yeah, June 15th.
Damn, it's even before your fight.
So I was supposed to fight him. They offered me to fight in Saudi Arabia.
Oh, that's where.
And I was supposed to fight there. So I'm right before, the week before. I was supposed to fight there in Saudi, and I was like, all right. And then I took this fight, and then I was like, well, now that that everything was so high in prices and everything, I was able to, I was talking to them, like, look, man, it's going to be super expensive for me to fly out my team just because it's so late notice. And they kind of understood, right? Like, all right, yeah, that's fair, you know. And they already have booked his flight here anyways.
Okay.
Because
so it made sense.
we're supposed to fight here. Like, that was just it. We're supposed to fight here. So they already booked his flight. So, like, all right, just keep it.
Yeah,
you know, so it was
way
cool.
Convenient. Yeah.
Thank goodness.
Vegas. You live in Vegas, right? Or
yeah, so I bought a house in Vegas, and I kind of split my camp between Vegas and Cali. So I go to Cali for most of the time, and I come out here for the end of my camp. For this last camp, so I had just fought, I cut into training, and I was helping Cynthia, and then Cody was a week after. So, and then they called me, right? So I literally went home. So Cynthia's fight fell through. Ended up for Cody's fight, like, hey, I'm gonna go home because all the team's here. So you don't need me for this week. So I went home for only a week and came back, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna fly back. But then I was like, you know what? My weight was kind of heavy, so I was like, I gotta stay here. My nutritionist, perfecting athletes, they live here. So like, all right, I'm gonna stay here and work with them and just get my weight down. And literally, I shadow box and did cardio because I really didn't have too many partners. I sparred with Vince. Vince came through a couple times to spar. Obviously, he has his schedule set up because he has a fight coming up too. So I would be like, hey, can you come spar on Saturdays? So we spar Saturdays. Everything else was just doing strength and conditioning, and I was running and shadow boxing. And I used one kid. He used to be the nutrition team, part of the nutrition team at the PI. His name's Juan. I was using him, and he's green. He didn't really know much. I was like, bro, I need your help. He's like, all right, what did I do? I was like, put this on. Just I need you to do these movements. I'm gonna hit the pad. I'm not gonna hit you in the face. I need you to throw shit. And literally, it was just me and him for a while. And then my team came for fight week. So I literally only trained with my team for a week. But usually I go home, train with Timur Yama, Tyler Wambos, and Jivo Santana. Train with those guys, and come out here. But this one was short. So
did you like the shortness of it, even though it was kind of like hectic?
Yeah, I mean, I always feel comfortable with my conditioning. That's, I think, biggest part of my game. That I'm always in shape. I mean, obviously a little nervous because I'm like, dude, I'm fighting the top 5 guy. I'm coming off so many losses, 3 losses. So, but I was comfortable with it. You know what I mean? I don't mind the short notice. You can't really overthink it, right? You got 3 months to think. You're like, oh my God, you start doing too much studying. You know?
Yes, exactly.
So I
like
cool.
short notice.
Yeah, it was good.
For sure.
Yeah. That's why. I try to stay in shape for the most part. But this one's been a long one. They gave me notice for this one like 12 weeks out, and I'm just like, I've already been like on go mode, you know, hoping for something sooner. But you know, given the opportunity, I was like, all right, I'll wait around for it, you know.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, it's been a long one.
It's been a good camp, healthy camp.
Camps like that are that long. You gotta know when to take your little breaks.
That's my hardest. That's my hardest part because I'll get a 12-week camp. And I'm grinding from as soon as sign the contract, I'm fucking on it. I'm running, I'm dieting, and like 8 weeks into, I'm like, dude, I still got fucking another 4 weeks. Like,
this is when a normal camp would start.
Yeah, you know.
Exactly. I'd be solid with like a good 8 to 6 week camp would be perfect. You know?
Yeah.
Like that's enough time to get the weight down. My weight's never really too high, but I just need a little bit of time now. Get a little bit older.
Yeah.
You know, if it's the diet habits, you know, so
for sure.
Yeah.
No, yeah, it's I mean, as long as you're healthy, that, like in the fight game, if you're healthy, you can be consistent. You know, I fought 3 times in 4 months once. I tried to, like, I really wanted to push that feeling, and it was too much after doing it, but it was doable. You know, I made 170 3 times in 4 months, and just making sure you're on top of it and being on top of your diet. It's a lot. You can't enjoy yourself in that
easy,
time,
bro. Because there's that
No.
one week after the fight where I'm just like pigging out.
Oh man, so Jason manages me, right? So I hit him up. I was like, hey, so I fought. Obviously, we're all happy, everything, because I got a new contract for this fight. Like I got a new contract and everything. So then I was like, so I was eating on, I think Sunday. Went to go eat some hot pot. You know what I mean? I was eating. Sick. Took my son. We're hanging out, and I was like, I went with my nutritionist, and she's like, did they say anything about June 15th? I was like, let me ask right now. So I hit him up, asked, like, all right, June 15th still? And he's like, you want it? I was like, fuck, why not? I'm healthy. And he's like, all right. So then he hit me back up probably like an hour later. He's like, yeah, you got it. I'm like, cool. And then I looked at my nutritionist. I was like, wait, hold on. Does that mean I have to stop eating right now? She's like, no, give yourself. She's like, she gave me up until today, but I started like yesterday, start eating clean. You know what I mean? Just the sooner I start, because she'd be like, oh, just wait the week. The sooner I start, the easier it is. If I wait for the whole week, then it's gonna be harder for me to get back on that diet. So I was like, let me start right now. Let me cut this out.
Let me ask you, now that you've been eating pretty consistently clean for this period of time and making sure you're on weight, do you almost feel like sometimes when you want to go back to, like, you know, what gets you out of weight, like sometimes you're almost like, I don't even really like it anymore? Do you get that feeling sometimes?
All the time, because I'm a foodie. Like I wrestled for my whole life. I thought after college I was done. You know what I mean? Like, fuck. After high school I thought I was done cutting weight. No, wrestling college and fuck. Okay, I'm done. No, I'm fucking fighting. I'm a foodie. I grew up in the Central Valley, so all we had was Mexican food, right? Like, yeah, some Vietnamese spots and stuff like that, but we're a small town, so there's a lot of Mexican food. But once I moved to Orange County, it's like, fuck, now I'm trying everything.
Options,
so now, especially moving to Vegas, everything's open 24 hours, right? So I'm like, man, there'll be times I'll do an edible and everything, and in the middle of the night I wake up, I'm like, fuck, I got the munchies, dude. Like, let me go to. I live right next to Taco Bell and everything. People are like, you like Taco Bell? I was like, not really, but it's right there. I can literally walk to it. You know what I mean? So I walk over, get my food, come back, and I'm like, dude, you know.
Would you say Mexican food?
We've done that. We've done that a few times. It'd be like 11 at night, like, you know what sounds good? Some In-N-Out.
Yes. In-N-Out's the spot. Yeah.
So I recently introduced this guy to the 4x4.
What?
I didn't know that existed.
He didn't know about it up until recently.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on.
It's life changing. Because I used to get 2 doubles.
Yeah.
And then he's like, bro, get a 4x4. I was like, wait, you can do that? So once I got that, I was like, this is perfect. The 4x4 hits the spot every time. And that's a West Coast thing. Like, I spent most of my time on the East Coast in the U.S. when I have spent time here, so it's not out there. Yeah. So when I first moved out to Vegas and was like fully introduced, I was like, "This is the spot." You know, this
Bro,
is the spot.
so he had never tried horchata before.
What? Come on,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah, that was new as well.
That's
that
like
was dope.
like you grew up with that. You like Mexican, man. You grew up with that shit. You know, every party, fucking is right there.
That's the thing. Like for me, Mexican culture is so new. Like coming out here and like hanging out with him and meeting other Mexicans and the food. It's like I've had like the taco, the quesadilla, but like real Mexican food. When I came out to LA, he like took me to King Taco and
once you LA, like LA, SoCal, like Santa Ana, LA, like Central Valley, man, Mexican food. Like I've been in Vegas, I lived in Vegas. There's some decent spots for Mexican food, but they ain't nothing like back home. Yeah,
there's not a lot out here, to be honest with you, but like California got it on a lot.
Yeah, you go to a place, you're like, oh my god, this Mexican food's so good. I'm like, the fuck? Like this is like nothing like back home. This is like, dude, I can cook this at home. You know what I mean?
For sure. Yeah, no, I do. And then just LA culture, California. The first time I ever went out to LA was when I moved to Vegas, drove out there. So it's a whole nother world, whole nother culture, and it's cool, bro. Like I've always watched the West Coast from afar. Like always loved Kobe, love the Lakers, you know, just sports in general. So it's cool to be. And then also the fight game, watching like the come up of guys like Quentin Rampage and like those guys fighting and watching Embedded as a fan, and then seeing like people that I know go up into it, Tyler as well, both of you guys. So it's cool to like somehow connect, you know, everyone's so far apart from each other. So it's cool like to get that insight, and especially for the listeners too, like the fight game is a crazy game.
Small world. It's a small world.
Super small world, bro.
Super small.
And the higher you get, the even smaller it gets. You know?
Yeah, that's for sure. I got friends all over the world. Japan, Guam, freaking out in China. I got people that I can call up and like, hey, bro, I'm be there. And they're like, oh, yeah, come stay with us. Bali, you know, all these guys. I got guys that just from meeting him in this game, you know what I mean? They're so far away, but so like the tight-knit community is fucking right there.
Yeah. I recently went through that where in Thailand, I became like team with a bunch of dudes right there, and now I got homies from all over the world and shit. You know, even
the fight game is
now
a cool
Billy's
game.
in fucking Japan.
Yes.
You know,
he's like a superstar there.
Who in Japan tapping with Billy?
Yeah,
man.
It's a cool thing about the fight game. It gets you well connected, and then everyone's like on that respect basis, you know, which is dope. But let's move on to the new gloves.
Oh yeah, so just got the new gloves in, and you know, I tried them on. I normally wear a large, but it seems like they don't have a certain finger space, like good finger space.
Yeah, I wear a medium, and like the
Even
way the way we're
Like
the way they wrap my hands. I don't know if a medium's gonna fit. I think I'm gonna do a large, and there's no way these are 4 ounces.
No, they're not.
UFC's trying to make sure we
feel
kill.
like-
UFC's trying to make sure we kill each other. You know what I mean?
They kind of feel like you could buy these at Walmart.
That's what I thought too.
Yeah, they're light, man.
They're very like low quality.
Yeah,
like,
the leather doesn't seem.
the
very,
originals
like,
seem more like badass in terms of the leather. And you know how I thought they put more emphasis on like finger pokes? It doesn't look like they did anything.
Nah, I mean they have a little curve to them, but
very
if you ever
different.
seen the Risen ones or like Pride, they're literally like this.
Yeah.
Like they're actually curved like this a lot more. These are curved a little bit, but yeah, these are larges, and I mean, don't get me wrong, like I wear a medium all day. Like
Yeah.
this is
I put that on. I was like, damn, that's tight as fuck without a hand wrap.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I'm gonna need a bigger size.
yeah. I'm gonna need a large for sure, because I mean my fingers fit good, but like honestly, if I wear a medium, I don't even have to wrap my hands, and I mean that's not good. But with the large, even then, you're gonna have to adjust the grips and stuff, because this is
For sure.
Yeah,
People are gonna have to wrap their hands differently.
yeah, like I mean there's a lot of space in there. I mean obviously I don't have them on the tightest, but the finger part is where I mean that's pretty tight right there, you know.
Yeah.
And there's no space and hardly any space in between here.
Yeah, exactly right. When you're sliding it in, it
Yeah.
already feels super.
It's super tight.
Yeah. Curious
So
to
you
see.
have to.
You guys gotta get
the
bigger
good,
sizes.
Good
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Good thing they're sending them,
I'm
so
gonna
you
have
have
to get
to
some
break
of
them
these.
in and shit. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, just get the larger sizes, bigger sizes.
Yeah.
You guys
Because
can
I got
have to
medium,
eat.
but I was like,
You're like, nah, I'm a large.
yeah.
I got large hands.
I need a large.
Yeah, I got large hands. What's up?
For the first time ever.
Yeah. There you
Yeah.
go. You're like, I'm an XL. What's up?
Oh, I don't really put too much padding when I wrap my hands for the fight.
Shit, my padding feels like it's a fucking cast, dude. Oyama Park, I've had my hands wrapped by some like 3 or 4 guys, and Oyama's, man, like my hands like this and it like tight, and then once you start sweating, just molds. Man, like when I hit someone, even the people in the back when they cut my wraps, like fuck, this is fucking like these are some good hand wraps. Whoever did them, like yeah, they're fucking tight. Like it's good. I like
Having good hand
mine.
wraps, fuck.
Yeah.
It makes such a big difference. I've gone to some fights like, bruh, I need to do this again. Like shit's cutting off my circulation
Yeah.
and stuff. But then when you get like the perfect hand wrap, feels great. Feels awesome, ready to go.
It's money.
Yeah, but so that's the review for the new UFC glove. Make sure you keep an eye out for it. You know, you didn't get to use it. You just.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, I didn't get to use them. We still have the new one. I think these are being used. I think this weekend.
Oh,
Or
really?
might be the first time. I believe. Yeah, cause next. Yeah, I think this is gonna be the first pay per view that they use them.
For Brazil.
Yeah, for Brazil.
Speaking of which, I know you have your eyes on that main event. What are you thinking? Who you liking in that? Who's gonna be? Is there gonna be New? Or are we gonna?
Man, I don't know, man. Like everybody's asked me, like I want Pantoja to win because Pantoja fucked me up, and I want a rematch with his ass, right? Yeah. I'm gonna have to fight him regardless, whether it's for the title or not. So I mean, obviously I want to be for the title, but Steve's fucking tough, man. I haven't really watched too much outside the UFC, but he came in short notice, beat a ranked guy, beat another tough guy, Alessandro, beat him, and then starched Matt Chanel, knocked him out 1 punch. And Pantoja's been hurt. Moreno, like I spar Moreno and stuff like that. I've trained with him a little bit, and he hits a lot harder than what I thought, right? But Steve's put someone out to sleep with 1 punch. It's like, oh shit, you know what I mean? This guy can get hit. So I give it 70-30. I think Pantoja has experience. He's gonna be in Rio, right? His hometown. And he's been there. He's been in dogfights. And he's been hurt and been able to fight back. Steve has that 1 punch knockout. He has a good left hook. good boxer, tall for the division, big for the division. So it's gonna be interesting. I don't know if Pantoja can get him down. If Pantoja can get him down, it's game over.
If it stays standing, it's a very
it's a 50-50 fight if it stays standing. I believe.
Sure. I think it's gonna be a banger of a fight.
Yeah, people are putting it down because it's at flyweight. You know what I mean? But man, honestly, like I think people in the States feel like the bigger is better, just like with anything else, right? When you go buy something, bigger is better. Like not heavyweights get out the first round is like
technique.
You know, there ain't nothing there.
Yeah.
Lightweights, you know, guys coming on the lighter side, we're there for 15 minutes scrambling, doing things like that. Like we don't get that in the upper weight classes. So I think it's gonna be a good fight, good exciting fight.
I mean, you put the 125 back on the spotlight with that KO. Everyone's like, 125. I bet you most people think it was decision or something like that. Second round KO, fresh off, you know, and you got 2 KO guys in another main event fight. I don't know. I did see some ramblings on social media. People are like, what a disappointing pay-per-view. I'm like, there's some good fights on there. Especially, I think that main event is going to paint a picture. I mean, if Usyk comes in there all of a sudden after 3 fights and he's got the title, it's going to kind of open up the whole division.
Yeah,
you know?
For me, I feel as like Pantoja, like asked for a fight, wanted to fight real bad and real. Who knows if that's good or bad, right? Like he's been training obviously his ass off for this fight. He wants to fight in his hometown, things like that, or his hometown country, and it's great. But sometimes that backfires, right? Sometimes pressure. you gotta take it pressure, but then sometimes like when you force things, sometimes it's not the best thing. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I guess we'll get to see how it goes. I know there's a couple other big fights on there. Anthony Smith.
Yeah, Anthony Smith. He'll be fine. Hopefully Anthony Smith wins. He's a good dude. I like him. Yeah. Jonathan Martinez versus Aldo.
Of course,
I'm a big Aldo fan. My boy is Jonathan Martinez. That one's hard for me. For me, that fight comes down to if Jonathan has a good weight cut and he's in shape, he'll be great. The fights where he hasn't done the best is when he's hard weight cuts, things like that. But if he's in shape, he's a monster. He's a dog. You know what I mean? They have studs. They have Brandon Royval, Dustin Jacoby.
Up in Team Elevation.
Factory X. You got Yusuf Salah, Brandon Royval. But I think Christian Gutierrez, and they have Cody Brindage, like all these guys. But I think Martinez is the best guy at that gym. Like quiet. I think he's an assassin. I've gone out there and trained few times, and when I see him, like, damn, this kid's the best kid in the gym.
His left kick, he's a southpaw, right? Yeah, he's just wicked
monster,
with that legs. Yeah,
quick,
he's got
quick
very
reaction.
Good legs.
Yep.
Yeah, he's TKO'd some guys with calf kicks.
Yeah.
But it's the king of Rio.
Yeah,
Jose
man.
Aldo.
It's hard to bet against Aldo, man, because he's a fucking monster, man.
Bro, winning pro boxing fights, you know.
He's good, and it's crazy. I think he's only, I think, like 37, 38. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like
his last loss was to Merab, which is like understandable, and it was close.
Yeah,
like,
it wasn't like
it wasn't like Jan and Merab.
Yeah, he went out there. So I mean, Aldo's still on top of his game. I just think he got kind of bored with MMA, and kind of just wanted to move on. Now he wanted to come back. I don't know if he's long-term plan or if it's just because they're in Rio. Like, let's get this going. Yeah. You know what I mean? But I'm glad to see him back in. There's gonna be a fun fight.
Yeah, for sure.
We all want to see Aldo, go out, with a win,
that'd be dope. That would be dope. I know that's your homie.
But no, I like both guys, man.
Catch his win and be like, all right, that's it.
Yeah, right. Retire at home. That'd be a cool way to go out.
Yeah.
It would have been cool if somehow Pereira turned around and fall on this card.
That would have been sick, man. Because he took no damage, but I don't know if he could make 205s that quick again. That's a big boy.
Yeah.
I didn't know how he made
crazy how he made
85s. Yeah,
bro,
he's a big dude.
Insane. The dude was losing 40 pounds. But they're saying potential rumblings, him and Jiri are going to be lined up for the rematch. So I'm down for it.
Yeah, man. I think Jiri just. I mean, Pereira gets hit a lot, right? Because the way he fights, hands down, stuff like that. But Jiri doesn't have. I've never seen him knock someone out with one punch. Yeah. It's always like, hey, spinning elbow, number of punches and stuff. Where Pereira just fucking puts you to sleep. Punch, yeah. Like when Pereira fought Izzy, I mean, he was losing that first fight until he cracked him. You know what I mean? So he's for 25 minutes, you gotta be on.
And he got saved by the bell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He got
exactly
saved by the bell.
In the first round. Yeah, I remember that.
So Jiri, like I like him. He's a good dude. I've met him a few times, but I don't know if he can get it done. The way he fights with his hands down, all awkward.
Too reckless.
And he can't defend a leg kick. You know what I mean? Pereira's leg kick is a monster. So I think I would like to see Pereira versus. I would like to see him against move up to heavyweight I mean, he did it in Glory, but I mean, I would like to see him at heavyweight.
I want to see him fight Khalil. But yeah, having that fight, Khalil and Pereira, is definitely going to be a stand-up banger. And then, of course, Khalil against Jamal Hill. I think, personally, it's a quick turnaround for Jamal, but I also feel like that works an advantage for Khalil, too. I think Khalil's in a really good spot right now.
Yeah.
You know, he was actually the backup for that fight between Hill and Pereira. So when I heard that, I was like, he's 1 win away.
Yeah,
so.
no, yeah, he's right there. I think it's a good fight for him. Jamal's not gonna try to take him down.
That would be the smart thing. That'd be the
smart thing.
Yeah.
I mean, but Jamal has knockout power, man. He's knocked out like, it's weird. Like, he's hit people and they've fallen asleep. You know what I mean?
That's why I didn't completely count him out for that last fight. You know?
Exactly. I get that last fight. People was like, he's gonna get starched. Obviously, yeah, we've seen the result now. But even then, I was like, bro, like,
he definitely has a puncher's chance.
You can't teach power. Like, you're just born with it or you're not. Like, I'm not born with knockout power. You know what I mean? I fucking had to work at it. Jamal just looked like he just naturally just turns his hips and fucking cracks guys.
On top of that, like you said, Pereira can be hit, you know, so it was just a matter of time. Like, we'll see if he could, you know,
weather that storm and see if Jamal was able to land.
It was such a, like, I mean, it sucks, you know, going back, oh, savage knockout, blah, blah, blah. But, like, the events leading up and then the situation that, like, transpired to the knockout, it's unfortunate. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, for the fighter and Jamal, and then even, like, because we did want to see more of a fight, you know, it happened pretty quick. But yeah, just, you know, taking a nut shot, it was pretty badass, you know, Pereira, just to be in that zone. But you saw he was in that zone. He didn't want any disruption, any distance taken away from him. He was right there in the pocket. He knew where he could land. Then as soon as it was reset, stood on that foot, left hook, and that was
That was G. That was super
That's like old school striking strategy. Like something like, you know, when you're an old dog that just has the tricks, that's it right there.
Sometimes that's all you need, man.
Yeah, he was just like, he saw the opportunity, he was just like, good dunk, and it was over, man. It was pretty savage. UFC 300
had that confidence coming in, dog, and that shit'll you go in there with that confidence, dog. You're gonna do some things, you know.
Yeah. Absolutely,
without a doubt in your mind, bro. So it's always good to have that.
Did you get any chance to take a look at the Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney?
Yeah, I did. I was actually interested in that fight because people like Ryan, I know he got real famous because of YouTube and stuff like that. But, man, like, the kick and box, does he have perfect fundamentals? No. Does he stick his chin up? Yes. Has he been dropped? Yes. But he showed me a lot when he fought Campbell and he got dropped and got back up. Like, usually guys that can't take it are going to quit right there. He got dropped. He got hit with a clean hook and he fell on his ass, came back, finished him with that body shot. So I was like, man, Haney's like, kind of reminds me of myself a little bit, like more of a pitter-patter kind of guy, right? He doesn't really have power. He couldn't hurt Lomachenko, even though he was a lot bigger than Lomachenko. So I was kind of worried about that. And I was like, Garcia's been put people down with that body shot and been able to hurt people. And that's what happened. You know, I mean, I think the size one, he missed weight, 3 pounds. I don't know how hard he really tried or not, but 3 pounds, I don't think it's, for guys, it's a lot of weight, but not really, I don't think.
Boxers are different with that.
Yeah.
They're a lot.
They don't cut like we cut.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, when I seen him win, I was happy for the kid, man. Like, he got a lot of shit. I mean, he's going through some crazy shit right now, but I mean, he looked good in that fight. He looked fucking good.
Yeah, I mean, he pulled off the ultimate troll job. I've seen a couple of podcasts, the PBD podcast he went on and was just like, yeah, I told everyone I was going to do it before I did it. Like, I was going to troll everyone, and everyone just kind of fucking fell into it. I fell into it. I was like, man, this dude's falling off hard, dog. Like,
yeah, man. I mean, I don't know if it's real or fake, but yeah, he definitely took us for a roller coaster for sure.
But now, what is these antics now that are coming out that he's just tested positive for Ostarine, which is quite a popular PED that keeps seeming to pop up in people's, banned substance lists. You know, a lot of tainted supplements, or whether or not that's being taken on purpose. I know O'Malley's actually tested positive for that twice. So it was interesting to see that come up. Obviously, Ryan is claiming it's bullshit.
I mean, it could be from anything though. I know, like, from what I heard, I know a couple guys that are on the UFC roster that, like, they're just training guys. Oh, try this try this. You know what I mean? Like, fucking tastes good. Try it, and they test positive for it. You know what I mean? It's a small trace, but like little things like that. It's so crazy because I don't take supplements. I'm fucking, not because I'm better than anybody. I'm just too. I fucking forget. I take them for like a day or two. I'm like, oh fuck, I forgot.
I've been there.
A month later, like, oh shit, they're still there. You know. So I mean, I don't know. Who knows if you really took it or not? But I mean,
I don't think that dude took that with the intention, like, I need to take this to perform better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Based on what his abilities are in a boxing ring. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I know everyone sees, banned substance, he's a cheater. But same thing with your situation. You know, yours was a tainted supplement, came back, tested positive. Everyone's like, oh, he's a cheater. I know this fool. He's definitely not jumping on him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Man.
So it's like, it's a whole nother ball game when you're taking like anabolic steroids to like perform,
different.
you know? But this whole thing with, and you have to guys understand, like, the supplement game, not this company, of course, is the best in the market. Our ingredients are the best. But there are companies out there that are literally doing it in pop-and shops in their houses, mixing ingredients. They don't keep it professional. So you got to always be really careful. That's why a lot of supplements the UFC fighters takes are all medically tested. They tell you exactly what's in there, so you know what's in there. So same with these guys. You know, we make sure that what we put on our body, it needs to be the right shit, because you could literally lose money, lose the opportunity to fight. You can lose your career. So yeah, it's a tough industry. So for the fans that are listening, you also got to back your fighters when these situations do come up until the facts come out, because, you know, in America, it's fucking innocent until proven guilty. So, you know, that's just how the game works, and unfortunately that's what us fighters have to deal with. You know, it could be as simple as an energy drink, you know, or something at the gym, just like a fucking out of the fridge, and next thing you know, fucking you pop.
Yeah, that's why I don't take anything. Like, people, like my friends, are like, oh, try this supplement. Like, bro,
I can't.
Yeah. Like, they're like, oh, yeah. I'm like, bro, I can't. Like, I don't know what's in there. Like, it doesn't have the, you know, the UFC gives us a good list to follow. I mean, we can always text him and stuff. But usually, like, some have come out where, like, there's the logo on there, still test positive. You know what I mean?
Oh, for real?
As safe as it's been. You know what I mean? That's hardly the case, but there is stuff like that. Or people are like, oh yeah, it's you take it from a friend, you don't know what's in the bottle. Like, oh yeah, it's for sure certified. You know what I mean? I bought it here, and boom, a lot of guys get caught like that.
Yeah, no, it's wild with that. It's scary. Like, you know, even every time they'd show up to take your urine and stuff, you're just like, fuck. You know, was that meat good? Like, I heard Canelo.
Yeah.
You know, like, so you just never know. You know, so I've had very bad experience in my career with blood tests. Before my debut, before I even became a professional, my first ever fight, I got blood work done, and they told me that I had HIV. They mixed my blood results with somebody else. It was by human error. And
dude, I would have killed myself if someone told me that.
Bro, it was terrible.
For how long did they
about 3 days.
Oh my god.
For 3 days, I thought I had that.
Yeah,
shit,
I would have been like,
bro, that's life changing shit, bro. I would have went crazy.
It was wild.
I would have fucking been like,
I would have pulled out all my life savings.
Yeah, but like,
bro, the situation at that time was crazy.
That's
dog.
wild.
Yeah, I wouldn't wish that on anyone, dog.
Yeah, I would flip out.
So yeah, whenever those kind of shits come around, I'm just like, fuck. You
3 days for 3 days.
I tell them
I wouldn't be able to sleep, bro.
I didn't sleep.
Oh yeah, I'd have been fucked up. It's like, how do you tell people?
I didn't. So the situation was, I got this blood work obviously for a fight, and I had booked I was flying internationally, so I booked my flight to fly, and I didn't get on my flight because obviously I wasn't gonna pass the blood test. You know, I thought I was like, my career's over, and I'm sitting on my bed, and my dad calls me. He's like, why aren't you on the plane? And I'm like, Dad, I gotta tell you something. And I told him, and he was just like, first thing he said was just like, you don't have that. He just literally was like, you don't have that. I was like, how do you have HIV? I was like, bro, I have it. Like, they said I have it. I couldn't figure out how I got it, but literally they said I had it to test like 99.9% accurate, you know? So I was like, yeah, I have it. And then Monday rolled around, and they're like, you have to come back to test your blood to see how infected you are, because then they can determine the medicine you take for the rest of your life. That's how it is. I was like, fuck. So I went there, gave my blood. Then the next day they call me. They're like, I'm 99% sure you don't have HIV. I'm like, what? They're like, and then they went and found out that it was someone switched my blood with someone else's, and then that person got told they were clean.
Damn.
Fuck, bro. So
that'd have been all bad. I thought, you know.
No good outcome. No good outcome for anyone in that situation.
That's fucking wild.
And you know what was crazy? Because like, I was getting ready for this fight. Obviously, this fight didn't happen. And then my dad's like, all right, yeah, you're good. Go back to train. And it took me 2 months just to even want to go back to train, because I'd already like changed my mindset. I was like, I literally told myself, like, no joke, bro, I was like, I'm asexual. I didn't want to touch anyone. Like, I was so disgusted with myself, you know? And like, I was like, I can't do what my love is. Like, I can't compete. Like, so I was just like, fuck it, I'll go buy a TV, I'll go buy a PlayStation, I'll just be like a regular ass dude, you know. and I was like, I programmed myself that. So then when everything was all good, it was like it took me a while to get out of that funk.
That's crazy.
You know, it was it shows you how crazy the mind can be. You know, like if you're not in it mentally, you think your whole life is over, everything, you're a completely different task, and then all of a sudden they're like, wait. That never happened. You're good. Go back on. You're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I don't know why would
it was tough. It was that was a tough situation. But my career hadn't even started, so I was like, I got to get this fucking ball rolling. You know, I haven't been training at the Black Zillions for no reason for this long. Like, fuck. You know, so it was definitely a hurdle that I had to get over, but it was one I would never fucking recommend to anybody. It was a bummer, dude. It was a bummer.
That's wild.
Yep. It was a fight game, like I said. Don't fuck around with blood tests, and urine tests, none of that bullshit. But yeah, man. You know, with what's coming up next for you, both of you, we got back to back. So everyone that tuned in for the episode.
Wait, you too?
Nothing confirmed. I'm hoping by Friday, tomorrow. So I'll update Karate Combat. I'm trying to get on this card for May 30th. Nice. They have the middleweight title between Ross Levine and Adrian Hadrabayev, the guy that somehow I lost to, even though I whipped his ass. They gave him a split decision. He's now fighting for the title. So I would love to get on that card and fight the winner or the loser of that title fight. So I'm trying to jump back on that. I've been training, been pretty consistent now, especially with my striking, helping him as much as I can, and you know, getting that work in Extreme. Getting bullied by Strickland, you know, so it's good. I'm glad to be back on the mats and being consistent, and just hoping I can just get you know, competitive this summer with Karate Combat, and then hopefully the tail end of the year get back into MMA. So that's kind of the goal. So
let's go.
Boom. Everybody active.
Everybody's trying to get
active motherfuckers right here.
Trying to get paid, man. Trying to make some money.
Hey,
until the wheels fall off.
Money,
you know?
Money is the motive around here. That's for sure. Ain't
So let's remind everyone, we got Alex Perez fighting Tagir Ulanbekov, right?
Yeah.
That's his name. That's here in Las Vegas, and then we've got the homie fighting Kelvin Gastelum. Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
That's going to be an experience. That's going to be an experience.
It's going to be wild, man.
It's going to be a fun fight for
I wonder this, though. Are they going to have ring girls or not? Because
probably not.
Over there, dude. Have you seen the rule? Like, when we're going over there, I asked, like, what are the rules? Like, if you have, like, because I have religious tattoos on me. You know what I mean? Obviously, they have their religion. But they're like, oh, if you have a religious necklace, like, to hide it, girls can only wear, like, they can't show anything, like, right? Like, even the UFC workers, they had to wear. I'm like, damn, dude, some rules. Like, I'm gonna get arrested out there.
For real. Yeah. No weed out there.
Yeah.
No edibles out there.
Yeah, no nothing.
Yeah, I know they got alcohol though, so you'll be all right. But no, for the most part, it's like literally a whole new cultural experience to like the max, because it's like you got to change your ways for their ways.
Hell yeah.
Otherwise you end up in jail. So, but I think
last thing I'm trying to do is go to jail.
No, it's gonna be hot over there.
Be acting like be out there like Mayweather. He's stuck out there.
I heard that actually, like that he, like, who was it? Tank was kind of trolling him.
They said that one of his bodyguards stole a piece of jewelry from like somewhere out there.
Oh shit.
And Floyd supposedly paid it off. But they're like, nah, we want the piece back. And then some crazy shit like that. Like,
so he's not allowed to leave because of that.
Yeah, so he's out there.
Well, that's news to me.
Yeah,
cool. I didn't know that.
Shit,
bro, especially over there.
Don't go stealing nothing.
Cut your hand off.
Hey, that's
literally,
how they do that shit.
Literally, dog. They don't play around. I met someone who's been to prison in Dubai for drinking and driving, and it was like, bro, they don't care. Like, it's like a room for 40. There's like 80 people in there, and they give you like a bowl of rice a day to eat. That's it. Dude, like, lost like 40 pounds in like 6 months.
Damn.
Yeah, so don't fuck around in these places. Don't bring stuff you're not supposed to bring.
Yeah.
So, but no, it was awesome having you on, brother.
Shit, man.
Especially coming off of that awesome performance on the weekend. If you guys haven't seen it, go check it out. If you want to plug your socials, also plug your business, let people know.
So out in Orange County, I own Acai Republic out in the city of Orange, right next to probably like 5-10 minute drive from Anaheim and Anaheim Stadium and the Honda Center. I'm right there. Social media, Alex Perez MMA. Hit me up.
Yeah, get yourself an acai bowl. We're gonna have to come check that out. And
come out there.
Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Another episode in the books. We're gonna keep the guests rolling. We had Chris Curtis last time. That was a great episode. Now we have Alex. You know, we're in the mecca of the fight
We're
world.
off to a good start, bro.
Yes.
We got some hitters. We got some hitters.
Let's go.
For sure. So tune in for UFC 301. See how the title picture lines up for our man right here. Obviously, he's got his fight lined up. So it's going to be an exciting year for everybody. And keep tuning in. Appreciate
tuned.
you guys. Subscribe, like, share, comment, the whole bang. And we'll see you guys next time.
Peace. Get it.
Latest.